everybody, it's Miss Caitlin with Plant the Seed, and today I'm at Ross Early Learning Center to tell you about your next take-home kit from Plant the Seed. And this one is going to be all about winter in the garden. You may not think there's a lot happening in the winter in the garden, but there's actually still a lot of vegetables that are growing, and there's lots of animals that are living here, and there's lots of life that is still happening in our gardens, even whenever it's cold outside. And so today, with our third graders, we are going to be doing lots of things that we do whenever it is winter in the garden. And we're going to be making seed balls, we're going to be enjoying a delicious sunflower seed snack, and then we're also going to be doing a natural dyeing activity with a root called turmeric. And so, because in the winter, we're not really able to grow a lot of things that grow above the ground. We are whenever we cover them, like you can see in the background. We cover some plants and they're able to grow still whenever it's cold outside. But a lot of the things that we're able to grow actually grow underground. And turmeric grows underground. It is technically a root. And so that's one of the things that we still have access to even whenever it's cold outside. So we're going to learn more about that today, about turmeric, about our natural dyeing, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get started and start the fun. All right, so our very first activity, we're going to be making seed balls. So go ahead and grab the little brown baggie in your kit that says seed balls on it, and go ahead and get this out because we're going to need this for this activity. And then go ahead and grab a bowl and then a spoon. You don't mind getting dirty from your kitchen. And then grab a little bit of water. And this is what we're going to need to do our first activity today. So the very first thing is we're just going to take the seed ball bag. Inside of here we have clay, we have powdered clay, we have wildflower seeds, and then we also have soil. Because what's going to happen is we're going to make these little balls, we're going to make balls out of these, and then we're going to let them dry, and then whenever it starts to get warmer outside, we're going to go and we're going to find a space around our homes, in the garden, in the park, and we're going to throw them or crumble them so then whenever it gets really warm outside, our flowers is going to be just full of wildflowers because that's what's in here, our wildflower seeds. So this is a way that in the garden we can still plan for the spring and start to make things that will make our garden beautiful with lots of flowers, lots of colors, and yeah, just lots of fun stuff. So what you're going to do though is you're going to take this baggie and you're going to take your bowl and you're going to dump the contents of your bag into your bowl. And there it is. Dump that in there. So once again, this is your soil, this is your clay, and then this is also your wildflower seed. So this is what we're going to make our seed balls with. And then take your bag too, and you're just going to kind of flatten it out because we're actually going to put our seed balls on here so they can dry. We have to let these dry for about a day to 2 days, so we just need a place to store them until they're ready and they're dry enough that they'll crumble whenever we spread them. So just go ahead and put this aside for your seed balls. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your water and you're just going to add a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't want to add too much. But see, that's just the little bit of water that I added. And you're just going to start to knead this all together. Just going to mix it. You want to mix it until all of this is really, really well combined. Your hands are going to get dirty, but that's part of the fun. All right, so you see it's coming together now. And it's forming our seed ball mixture. So you want to do this until it's just really well combined, until it looks like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab a little bit at a time. Like I said, this is going to get your hands dirty. Have your leaves rolled up, and you're just going to roll it between your hands. Just going to roll it like that. And there is my first seed ball. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and put it down on my brown paper baggie so it can dry. And then we're going to continue to pull out just little pieces of our mixture, just kind of like this big, and then just roll it between your hands, make it a mess. And then there is our second seed ball. Super easy. And there's another one. Roll it between my hands. And there is our third seed ball. I'm going to put it down in my brown paper bag. And then I have enough for one more. So I'm going to just scrape the bowl. You can just go like this, roll it between your hands, and there you go. There is your fourth seed ball. And the reason I have my spoon is just in case you don't want to get your hands too dirty. You can use this to mix together and to scoop out your seed balls. But I like to use my hands and get a little messy. I think it's fun to do that and make my seed balls. So what you're going to do now is you're going to put these aside. I have mine pushed aside. I'm going to let them dry for 24 to 48 hours. And then you can take them and you can spread them in your garden where you want, or in your house or outside or in a park where you want flowers to bloom, and you'll have beautiful wildflowers in the spring. So I just wanted to show you what my seed balls look like on the brown paper bag. Like I said, there are 4 of them, and you'll know whenever they are dry because you'll be able to touch them and there won't be anything that comes off on your finger. You can see right now that obviously mine are not dry yet, but we'll check back tomorrow and see if they are ready. Alright everybody, it is time to move on to our natural dyeing activity, which we are going to do using turmeric. And so this is what the turmeric looks like that you have in your kit. But whenever we first get turmeric, whenever it's first harvested, it actually looks like this. So it's orange like a carrot. But does this look like anything else you've ever seen before? You may have gotten it in one of your past take-home kits. That's right, it looks a lot like ginger, because ginger and turmeric both grow under the ground. They both look very similar. However, turmeric is bright orange, and ginger is normally more of like a tannish brown color. And so today we're going to be using turmeric that has been dried and ground up. So now it looks like this. So this is the powder form, and then this is the fresh form of turmeric. We're going to be using this to dye our bandana. And the really cool thing about turmeric is not only is it a natural dye, but it's also a spice that's used in several different cuisines all around the world. It's used a lot in curries and dishes that come from Asia, and lots of other places, though, love to use turmeric in their cuisine. And so today we're going to be using it to dye, though, instead of in a dish. However, turmeric, though, is also used as a medicine in lots of places as well still. There's lots of medicinal properties to it that make it great for you, too. All right, so the very first thing, though, we're going to do in our natural dyeing activity is we are going to take our bandana and we are going to make whatever design we want with it, because it's like we're going to kind of do a tie-dye. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll mine up like this. However, you can do whatever you want, because however you roll it or shape it will affect how it looks at the very end after we've dyed it. So I just rolled mine up, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to roll it into a ball. So it looks kind of like a snake. And then this is where you either use rubber bands or you can also use string to do this. You just want to make sure it's secure, so whenever we put it in our boiling water and vinegar and turmeric solution, it doesn't come undone, because then we wouldn't have that cool pattern that we wanted. So I'm gonna put mine around in like a star pattern almost to hold it all together, make sure it's really secure. And then whenever I tie-dye, I always like to take one and put it around the outside to keep it in that ball shape. So this is what it looks like now that mine is all done. And then you'll see over here in this pot, I have my 8 cups of water in there, and then I also have my ½ cup of vinegar in there as well. So that's boiling. So I think it's almost ready for us to put our bandana in. We just have to add our turmeric, which I'm going to take you over and show you what that looks like as it's added. I want to note that I just soaked my bandana in water, so it's nice and wet. This will help the dye adhere better whenever we put it in with the turmeric. And then also that's already pre-washed as well. Make sure to pre-wash your fabric so it also holds on to the color of the turmeric and even better. And so in your kits, you have 3 tablespoons of turmeric. Here I have a little bit more, but I'm going to guesstimate about 3 tablespoons. Like I said, this is my 8 cups of boiling water and then my ½ cup of vinegar. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab what will be about 3 tablespoons. Like I said, this is already measured out in your kit, but look at how beautiful that is. It changed the color instantly of this water. All right, let's put in the next one. This me 2. And then 1 more. Like I said, with yours, just go ahead and dump the whole thing of turmeric into your pot with the boiling water and with the vinegar, and then just mix it in. Wow, that smells so good. Turmeric has a lovely, warm, comforting smell. And this whole pot now smells like it. Once again, make sure you have a parent or guardian help you with this because this is very hot. It's boiling water. You just want to make sure that all that turmeric is stirred in and dissolved. Wow. But yeah, I just want you to take a second and smell it. Does this smell like anything you've ever had before? This just smells so warm and comforting to me. Very earthy. It's beautiful. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our bandana all wrapped up. And remember, have a parent or guardian help you with this because you're going to place it, gently place it into your turmeric vinegar water bath. Do you see how immediately that turned yellow? And so you're going to leave this in here for probably about 5 to 10 minutes until it has the deep color that you want, or a lighter color, or whatever color you want your bandana to have. You're going to keep this in here until it reaches that color. So I will check back whenever I am happy with how mine looks. So I've had my bandana in for about 5 minutes, and I am very happy with the color that is on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my spoon. If you had tongs, that would be a lot easier to use those. Please have a parent or guardian help you with this because it's very hot still. And all you're going to do is just transfer it to a bowl. And you're just going to wait. We're going to wait for probably about 10 minutes until it's cool enough so we can press out the excess dye. And then we can take off our rubber bands and see what cool pattern we have. All right, so I've let my bandana cool off for about 10 minutes. And I'm just going to take my spoon and I'm just going to press down on this to make sure all of that excess water and dye is out. And then this would be the time whenever you would take your gloves from your kit. I don't have any gloves with me today, so I'm going to do this in my hands, and it's okay, I'll just wash them after. But what you're going to do is if you put string or if you put bandanas, if you put rubber bands around your bandana, you're just going to go ahead and start to take them off so you can see the pattern that the dye created underneath. So I'm just going to take all of mine off. Yeah, definitely make sure you put on your gloves for this. It does stain your fingers, just like it did stain this. So we're gonna see. Whoa! This is so cool. So this is what was left on my bandana. Just a cool little pattern there. And so what we're gonna do now is you need to either let this sit out in the sun, which I'm gonna sit it down right here beside me in a sunny patch. You're gonna let it sit down in the sun, or if it's not sunny outside whenever you do this, you don't have anywhere sunny outside to put it, you can also put it in the dryer at low, because what the heat is going to do is it's really going to let that dye set into our bandanas. It's going to make sure that the color sticks a little bit more and it's a little bit more vibrant as well. And so since this is a natural dye, it will fade over time. And it's not like a permanent color. However, we can help with this by hand washing it, and don't put it in with anything else because the color, since they are not permanent, will bleed on something else if you do wash it together. We would love to see what yours look like whenever they're finished. If you do make this with your kit, if you want to tag Plant the Seed on Instagram or Facebook, we would love to see what you were able to make with your natural dyeing activity from Plant the Seed. All right, I hope you all turned out great. Alright, now our last activity is going to be our sunflower seed tasting. And yours is going to be a little bit of a different bag than this, but inside will still be sunflowers. So if you want to go ahead and pull these out, this is what they're going to look like. Does anybody know where sunflower seeds come from? I'll give you a hint. It's in the name of it. That's right, sunflower seeds come from sunflowers. And so that's something else that we can grow here in our garden, and then we can actually harvest these and eat them. So we're gonna use our 5 senses to explore our sunflower seeds with our sunflower seed snack. So the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to use our sense of eyesight. So we're gonna look, and we're gonna look at the color of them. They're kind of like a tannish brown color. And they're hard to see because they're so small. It's like a tannish brown. And then we're going to go ahead and use our sense of touch. So with our hands, we're going to feel them. They're hard and they're smooth. Yeah, they're kind of, they're smooth and they're just, yes, they're very hard. Whenever you press on them like this, they're very hard between your fingers. And then next, we're going to use our sense of taste, or of smell. We're not to taste yet. We're going to use our sense of smell. We're going to use our nose. Do they smell like anything? Mine don't. Mine don't really have a smell. Do yours have a smell to you? Next, we're going to use our sense. We're going to use our hearing, our sense of hearing. So, they make a noise whenever you rattle them in the bag. But do they just make a noise whenever they're in your hand? No, not really, but they do whenever you rattle them. And then, how many was that? That was our sense of touch, our sense of eyesight, our sense of smell, our sense of hearing. And then last, I think that we need to taste them, right? Let's go ahead and give them a taste. They're crunchy and super tasty. They taste really good, like a sunflower seed does. They have their own unique flavor. But yeah, super good. Go ahead and eat as many or as few as you want. And give me either a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you really, really liked them or they weren't your favorite, but you still tasted them, which is what matters. All right, and then that was our last activity for this take-home kit. Thank you all so much for joining me this time with your Plant the Seed take-home kit. I can't wait to see you next time for another round of take-home kit videos from Plant the Seed. Have a good one, y'all.